Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello and welcome to the second season of the Argent Airways podcast. Joining me, as always, is Zoo.
Hello, Xiagu here. And I'm Wolves. He's a green troll who's a member of the Vile Branch tribe in the hinterlands.
We have everyone's favourite Forsaken, that is Vivian.
I'm going to say my hello in Vivianese.
Yes, okay. We have Ella.
Hello, new singer of the Horde here, Sindari Elf.
And also a newly made uncle in real life.
Yeah. True.
Congratulations to
Congrats. Welcome to the Uncle Club.
that. And joining us today is, of course, Kari.
Hi, I'm Kari. I'm the boss of TK Studios and the mum of Vivian.
And
Icelia, of course.
Ideally, of
Icelia,
course.
yes.
Yes.
Very important.
It's important to establish this.
Yes.
Yes. And we also have Tal.
Hello there. I'm also known as Lee from TK, and yes, Kari is my boss, as well as Abby from the Fellfire Sisters.
Nice.
He's everyone's
I
boss
hear,
at some
I
point.
hear you guys thinking, who are the Fellfire Sisters? We will tell you later.
Ah, yes. More on that
However,
later.
if you don't know them, you've been living under a rock.
I like that rock, thank you very much.
But now, with the introductions out of the way, should we move on to our RP topic of today? And what would that be, Ella?
Sure. Well, I'm just going to simply ask you, how was your Lovers in the Air? How did your Lovers in the Air experience go? What did you get up to? What did you end up doing with your characters?
Vivian ended up developing 2 crushes. Neither of them she dares to pursue.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh yeah, you'd like to know more, right? You want names and addresses and
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's too private.
What about the
I'm sorry, listeners.
what about the fashionable Kari? Surely she has 1 or 2 suitors in
she may have, but we will not mention who they are.
Oh, so secretive today. Wow. Okay.
Xiagu did nothing. Nothing
Oh.
for his love in the air.
How about you,
so-
Tal?
Well, I went to a karaoke on one of my characters and had a great time singing there. That's how my Lovers in the Air went by. Nothing interesting per se in that. Just having a good time.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? It is interesting though, hearing how different races react to Lovers in the Air, because every race, of course, expresses their affection differently. Where,
I mean,
hmm?
my character Ella, she went to a spa with her partner, and then afterwards, literally the day after, attended the karaoke.
attended the karaoke.
We're gonna have to talk about this karaoke now.
Yeah, you've hinted at it,
Yeah.
Ella, so you got to talk about it now.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna slowly segue into a bit about music later on, but for now, we're going to stick with "Love Is in the Air." However, this karaoke was "Love Is in the Air" themed. Kari, could you
Karaoke.
tell us a bit? We all call it karaoke, but Kari herself just calls it karaoke.
I'm the only one that does not call it this.
He's
Can
lying.
you tell us a bit about your "Love Is in the Air" karaoke? How was it, and what happened?
So we had, as TK usually do at karaoke, we organize various performances to put on in between everyone else being invited to the stage. So we had the AKA opening performance, which is a band consisting of myself, Adrian, and Aranix. And we do 2 songs to open up, and we match the theme. And the rest of the evening, we just start inviting people on stage to sing love-themed songs, and it went quite
okay.
well, I think.
Are these Wowfied songs?
Yes, the rule
Yeah.
is they have to match well. Can't just start
Yeah.
singing about a TV, for example.
For
That'd be
those
interesting.
new to Wowifying, or for those maybe listening to the podcast for the first time, to Wowify a song means to alter the lyrics, the artist, the song title into something that would suit the world of Warcraft. So, example, a song by Queen would be a song by King. A song by Michael Jackson would be a song by Jackson Michaels.
Excellent name for a character there, if everyone's interested.
I was gonna ask, Harry, could we talk about the song, the special song you did during it? 'Cause that
Which
is
one?
the one where we all shouted, Darius, Darius.
Oh yeah, there is.
So I wrote a surprise song for a TK member, Darius, and it was based on Judas by Lady Gaga, and I changed Judas to Darius. So I got everyone to chant Darius as a surprise, and they got quite emotional about it. It was really nice.
Yeah, Darius did not see that coming. They were in the voice
No.
chat with us and just went quiet for once. Darius, are you okay? It's so beautiful.
They were surprised, both IC and OOC, so it was just amazing.
Yeah.
I love surprise songs like that. Every now and then, my listener pings when somebody mentions Viv in a song. And whenever that happens, I'm always so pleasantly surprised. Like, yay! I'm in there.
But speaking about Viv and songs, didn't you have a song as well, Viv, for the karaoke?
Yes and no. Vivian was called on stage to perform. She got onto stage, waved at the audience, and suddenly, from out of the audience, 2 anonymous masked hecklers came on stage. One of them not so anonymous, it was Becky from Goldshire, and the other one remains nameless, and they started heckling Viv something awful. But then, just as she was about to give up, music sounded and Kari walked from the audience and sang Here in My Heart, which made everything better.
Spoilers, I was Becky from Goldshire.
She was back in Goldshire, yes.
Everyone in the audience was 2 seconds away from running on that stage.
Word.
I would just like to point out as well that these 2 hecklers are now on the Iron Wolf Clan hit list.
Okay, Tal, you know where to hide now.
Good
Somewhere.
to know. I shall get on that.
I mean, I think a Niall can wrestle an orc pretty well.
Back on topic though, before this goes on to wrestling.
That's a debate for another day.
That's a topic for another day.
Another day.
Yes, quite. As mentioned before, it is quite interesting with the events such as what's it called? Love Day. Love Day.
Love is in the air.
Love is in the air. Thank you. Oh, crikey, my head then. In Love Day, seeing how different races react to it, because again, different races, different traditions, different ways of expressing emotions. Like for instance, a Sindore would obviously be more open about how they feel, whereas an orc might be more restrained or express it in another way.
Do you mean that Red Cleaver did not ask Resha out for a date?
I mean, of course she did.
A romantic hunt or something, like goring a boar romantically. Wait a second.
How do you gore
That's
a
what I
boar
thought you were
romantically?
going to mention. That's what I thought you were going to mention, the different ways, like the different races do it, because like an elf or a human may go on a date, but an orc or a troll may go on a hunt as a date.
Yours bore romantically. Yeah.
How else are you supposed to know that your partner is reliable if you can't rely on them on a hunt?
Yeah.
And that's the logic
True.
behind it, right? There is such thing as a courtship hunt.
And that's why Vivian's still single. She couldn't hurt a fly, let alone hunt an animal.
Unless it's a demon.
Unless it's we don't talk about demons.
Oh, maybe we should get a demon hunter.
We don't talk about demons. No.
Hashtag we don't talk about that.
Yep.
But
so yeah, love is in the air. there was also a Love is in the Air themed fashion show at the market the other day.
Oh, yeah, that was true.
Oh yeah, I didn't attend it because I got phased halfway through. But yeah,
Unfortunately.
Yeah, phasing is an issue right now for some reason.
It's what happens when you're too fashionable. You get phased out of existence.
We'll go with that as the reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dalaran community is trying to tackle the issue by writing tickets to Blizzard and stuff, or bug reports, but so far they haven't seemed to have noticed us yet. The phasing is still a little left over from the Pandaria remix times, so...
So spread the word,
Yeah.
people.
Yes,
Yeah.
please contact Blizzard, ask them to fix the phasing in several RP areas, actually, not just Pandaria.
yes.
But that's a start, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a start.
Whole reason RP servers were made, wasn't it? To stop the phasing so everyone can be in one instance.
Yes, to RP.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
very difficult to do when you can only have an X amount of people per shard.
Especially when you're doing a an event that evolves around fashion, and I forgot the name of the event again. Love Day.
Love is in the air.
Love it in the absolute, yeah, thank you.
It's okay, we can keep calling it Love Day if you want.
Oh, Love is in the air.
Love's in
Yes.
the air.
What kind of lovely outfits did you see then?
Oh, we saw many pinks, many purples, many golds, whites. In the end, Luso took the crown. No, she didn't. She came second. I'm lying. Do you-
Keeley.
Yes, thank you. I was going to say, do you remember who came first?
Yeah,
Because I've
I
completely
think
forgotten.
first place was shared with Keeley, and there was 2 winners and 2 second places, I think.
There was 2 third places.
Maybe-
I've just completely forgotten who actually won.
Let me see if I can find it. You continue chatting.
It seems I'm not the only one that forgets things.
I forget everything.
Oh, I've got that problem as well.
Now that Love is in the Air has come and gone, what is the next event in the WoWiverse or in the RPverse? That would be Koshark, Noble Garden, or Noble Garden Koshark. Which one comes
Mashup.
first?
I believe the Koshhag is in March, so that would come first.
It'll be during the solstice, so yeah, it'll be in March.
Koshmosh.
Koshhag, Vivian.
Koshmosh.
Kosh Mosh Pit.
Christmas.
I'm excited for my second ever Koshag. Ooh.
It is quite an event.
So am I.
For those who are unaware, though, the Koshhag is an ancient Orcish tradition, or at least it was, where the clans came and gathered on neutral territory to basically interact with each other and discuss possible alliances. What evolved from that was essentially the Koshhag Festival as we know it today, where every member of the Horde is welcome to attend. There's
And usually elves win events.
Ziyagu is still sore about that.
That was last time an elf won every event. Yep.
And now elves are no longer allowed at the Koshma. No, just kidding.
No, you wouldn't let Ella in.
Yeah, you win too much. You're not allowed. Imagine that's a reason.
Do we have anything coming up for Noble Garden? Well, there's Roaring Days coming up, but when?
And again, just so the people are aware, Noble Garden is essentially WoW's version of Easter.
Yes.
I think
Oh.
Days is the 21st till the 23rd of March, I believe.
So that comes first. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, we will talk more about Roaring Days and the dreaded Q to the Loo later. Yeah.
Q to the loo.
The Q to the... It's a cliffhanger, Grashka.
Right.
People are now like, what does she mean with the Q to the loo? Well,
Yes.
okay.
I'm wondering what you mean by that. But
Stay
I'm
tuned.
Yes. Anyway.
I guess you're at a queue now.
Or the
yeah.
loo.
Yeah. Very good.
Well, you're the lucky one if you're in the loo.
Yeah.
Since Roaring Days is a music festival, we could gradually slide into the next topic.
Oh yes.
Just a suggestion.
I
Which
believe
is
now's a good
all
time
of-
too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, which is all about music.
If I may say something,
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes.
because I found the winners for the love.
Oh yes, the love contest.
Yes.
Yeah. Fashion
Yes.
contest. Yeah.
So the winners were Kaylee and Lusu on the first place.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we had Ulfe on second place.
Ooh, the gem Volpera.
And we had a guy named Siren Stefair and Mirial Milunu on third place.
Hey.
And that concludes the top three.
Fantastic.
Very
I'm glad,
good.
I'm glad we found the names. Definitely worth mentioning.
Or
Yes.
top 6 in this case.
Speaking of events.
What a coincidence that you had shared first, second, and third places, huh?
I think second was just.
Second was one person, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Ah, fair enough.
the other two were shared.
Yeah. Speaking of events, shall we move on to the music and
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, because we
Music,
have two very musical guests among us.
oh yes, we
You
do.
already heard, speaking of the Fellfire Sisters and AKA, you two are both RP musicians,
Yes.
but you do it in a completely different way. One of you uses musician and one of you does not. Would you care to tell us a bit about which is your choice and why? And of course, what you do with it.
You go first, Tal.
Okay, well, the thing with the whole musician is it's funny that you can create your own sounds with music and stuff, with instruments.
Mhm.
And you can take like one file from the internet and turn it into something so beautiful that you have 50 plus people standing in a crowd cheering at you playing a piece of music from an add-on. And I feel like that's an amazing feeling to have when you stand as one of the band members and you just watch everyone rave on. Like, you're able to cause people to have a great time with just playing a piece of music.
So you are in the Fellfire Sisters
Yes.
as Abby,
Mhm.
and you had a concert the other day and you used musician.
Yes.
What was it like? And do you ever run into any issues?
Well, I'm basically not the one who makes the files for the musician. That's the leader, Miss Letty.
Mhm.
But I have used it myself. There are times where you can get a file that just won't match with the instruments you can use, and then you will have to look all over again for a new file to tingle with to make it a perfect music piece.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not suggest to look at free sites for MIDI files, as they're called. But then it's all, you need patience and you need to have a good ear to listen. Does this sound okay?
You sometimes do solo stuff as well, yeah?
Yes, I do. It's not always that the band can do things, so sometimes I just appear on Abby by myself, or some of my other roleplay characters, like play the harp in Stormwind, or, for example, about this Roaring Day we will hear about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just beautiful what you can make out with that add-on.
What I find interesting is that you use musician and Kari uses Watch Together, and on Roaring Days, can you use Watch Together on Roaring Days as well, Kari?
Yeah, we have done. It's a mixture of both, usually.
Yeah, you can use any platform you like as long as you bring music to the crowd.
Yes.
Kari, you use Watch Together. Do you prefer Watch Together, or is there some other reason why you use a different platform to tell?
I do prefer Watch Together, but it's just because personally I find it hard to figure out where I have to come in when I'm listening to musician, like with the lyrics, for example. I honestly applaud people that can time when they're able to come in while using musician, because I'm not very good at that. But I don't know, I just like being able to hear the music a bit clearer as well through a Watch Together link, just because it uses YouTube links, so it's a lot easier to keep track of.
I was just about to say I forgot to ask you to tell us what Watch Together is, because there are some listeners who might have never heard of it.
Yeah, so Watch Together is an external link that we throw out during the karaoke night, or Roaring Days, or whenever we're performing. And you can copy and paste YouTube links into it. And then during the karaoke, we like go in the order of the queue, for example.
Yeah.
It's
So
a very useful tool
basically
to have as well.
everybody... Oh, go on, Grashka.
Sorry, no, I spoke over you, Viv.
Oh, yeah. Well, if we speak over each other, we can just say, no, you go. No, you go. No, you go. No, really, you go.
Ladies first.
All right. But now I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh dear.
No, it's okay. I remember. It was about how Watch Together is a platform where you can play a video, and then everybody who's on that website at that moment can listen to the video at the same moment.
Yes, yeah, it's played so that everyone, like on everyone's screen, it plays at the exact same time for everybody.
Are ads ever an issue for Watch Together?
No, actually. There isn't usually any ads on there, but sometimes the songs can mess up a little bit for different regions, like depending on where you are in the world. But we just kind of find an alternative version of the link, and then usually it works.
Yeah. Now, you two are both going to perform at Roaring Days, yes?
Yes.
Correct.
What have you guys got planned for us?
Well, you go first,
Kari.
Sal. Oh,
You first, Kari.
okay. With what we usually do every time we go is it will be AKA performing with TK. So AKA will probably do, I don't know, 6 songs, depending on how long we have. And the TK members will do some stuff in the background. Usually Viv yes, and usually Viv controls the choreography with that, shouting at everyone in the voice chat.
You should all be there.
But at the moment we don't have a full set list yet. We've got to go over that still. But we will get some good songs in there, hopefully.
Yeah, as always, right?
Yeah, exactly.
As always. And I believe also, if I may go back and touch on a particular subject, I believe music can also be a huge factor in romance RP in of itself. Whether it's long-term story-driven relationships or short-term flings, I believe that music can be an important way of expressing one's feelings for a partner. At least I see the right.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
almost everyone who's in a WoW relationship has a song. You know, like whenever they hear it, they go, "That's our song."
Funny, isn't it? How that happens. But people are like that in real life, and yet they still do that in game, despite. What was you got? Question though for you guys. If I can just read from my notes here a moment. What would you guys consider as acceptable during romance RP?
Going back to romance RP.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's it, yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean,
consent's the main word, right?
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah.
I would consider what's appropriate is whatever the people involved find appropriate for
Yeah.
their
I
role play.
agree. I agree.
I was gonna say, I'll be honest. I mean, there isn't much limits to it as long as both people want to, and it's kept in private.
Yes,
I was
100%.
going
Yeah.
to mention the unspoken rule quote. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Current quote is what happens in private stays in private. Generally speaking,
Yes.
Yeah.
is that something you guys would agree with as well? Or
Do not ERP in public, kids. Otherwise,
Yep.
you'll get banned.
yeah, okay. Viv.
Advice from Granny Viv.
Advice from Granny Viv, everyone. And also, there's the subject of same-sex relationships as well, which you do see quite a lot in WoW. I've noticed.
Yeah, I have a character in, well, I have a few characters in those.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Say,
I notice that sometimes people who are straight in real life RP gay couples, and sometimes it's the other way around when people RP a straight couple, but in real life they're gay. And I find that so awesome that you get to try everything, basically, whether it's IC or OOC. And sometimes actual relationships start to form as well. I know a couple of people who met their significant other during WoW RP.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember our Farsi, Resha, telling us that she met her significant other whilst RPing. She randomly whispered someone saying, "Hello, how are you?" or something to that effect anyway. And it grew into a relationship out of game, which was quite nice.
Yes. I hope to find my partner in RP someday, so that if we ever have a row or something, I can tell them, all right, let's settle this icily.
Oh dear.
Well, speaking of romance and music and RP, Kari has a character called Victoria, and it is a music bot who often plays music when the Stormwind shop is open, and when any shop is open, really. However, Kari used to have a relationship with a large orc whose name we shall not mention. He was not very pleasant, and they had a song. It was Uptown Girl. So whenever Victoria starts playing Uptown Girl, somebody always yells, kick Vic, kick Vic. And we have to kick the poor robot till it starts playing a different song. It is the most kicked robot in WoW history.
Just
Poor
like a
Vic.
jukebox in real life. It is quite surprising though about real life behaviours being evolved in game. For instance, I know that a lot of people, at least in character or otherwise, browse TRP profiles to see whether someone's character would be nice to get to know in character. If that makes sense.
I should
That sounds
start doing that.
interesting. I never heard of that.
I
sounds
kind of see
interesting.
against that. Because then that kind of someone's playing like a certain type of character, like they're going to be avoided a lot of the time, and I don't think that's good. The natural RP should be that you just encounter anyone anywhere.
True.
You shouldn't be picky on who you RP with.
Oh no, you shouldn't be, because I think the issue is people sometimes have an issue with separating in character and out of character. Unfortunately.
if I may say something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
We're speaking about the whole you shouldn't judge and everyone should be able to hang out together. And yes, I can see that it's a game, we roleplay, we should all hang together, but I personally feel like a bit of the real life, well, is kind of some logic you also need to have in like roleplay, because I'm just gonna put out a very interesting example. Like Kari likes tea. I would like an iced coffee, and everyone is different.
Iced coffee, you heathen.
Hey, thank you very much.
Coffee.
That one struck right in my heart. Thank you. We're all different people, and some like basketball, some football. I personally just like to watch a tractor drive on a mark somewhere. And I feel like there just are some people you will not hate them, but you will not get along with them either.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like you should kind of discover that in character instead of looking at their profile. Discover a reason to not like them, maybe in characterly, and then you
Of course.
like that's fine.
Ella, even though I think you're completely right about that, you should get to know someone in RPE before you judge them.
Yeah.
I sometimes find myself doing the opposite though, because I, for one, am not interested in ERP. But when I read people's characters and I see somebody very vividly describing the size of their bosom and how hourglass figure and cascading hair and that sort of thing, I tend to avoid them though. Because it's not my cuppa.
I mean, the cascading hair thing isn't so much of a problem. It's the fact that they're describing other parts of themselves, which can be a bit of
Voluptuous parts.
yes, very big
Yeah.
personalities.
I understand that. I get that. It's just maybe at that time they're not always doing that. They've just got that in their character profile, maybe, or it's like a one-time thing. You never know. That's why I say you should always kind of discover in character, then back away.
I mean, really though, like if it's a one-time thing, would you describe it so detailed in your profile?
But not like a one-time thing, like a maybe they're not doing it on that day or whatever.
That's possible. Yeah. I think it's interesting though to do some TRP roulettes, just to pick out a random profile and read it and go like, could I get along with this person? I'm gonna try to find them. And I never thought of it that way before, but it sounds like fun. It sounds like something I'd like to try.
That's a game we need.
It sounds like Tinder, but for browsing profiles.
TRP roulettes. Yeah. Not expecting a relationship or anything, but it would be nice to see if some interesting RP could come from it.
I'm just waiting for TRP to include. I am looking for a relationship option in their TRP profiles.
Yeah, that would be nice.
You can set your status as single or taken or that sort of thing.
Married or
Usually
widowed.
when you put single in your status, it's usually a slight invitation for people to give it a go.
Come around today and we'll be playing next episode with TRP Roulette.
Yeah, but we're going to start.
Today's TRP belongs to Abigail Hawkins.
Yeah, we're not going to do the podcast anymore. We're going to do a TRP dating show.
Game show.
Abigail has a voluptuous chest, cascading hair, and an hourglass figure.
Blind TRP.
Blind TRP. Blind TRP dating. Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Oh, God.
It could work. It could work. You know, there's a blind date now and then the Dara's and Legion host. It is on quite often, actually. When I can find it again in the calendar, I'll let you guys know. I think they do it every month.
Every few months.
Every 3 months, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, every 3 months. Oh, 4 times per year. Yeah. But those are always fun, though. So if you're ever up for a blind date, keep an eye on argentarchives.org or the ADEU RP server to figure out when the blind dates are and where.
These events are always fun, regardless. They're always a laugh, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I do want to try and go to one at some point. I never had the chance to, I'm afraid.
Oh,
I've tried to go to the last 2, but something came up and not let me.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind trying these events. It's just the fact I haven't got a character that would suit them, because my orc doesn't exactly scream. I like date nights,
Yeah.
But your orc is taken.
That as well.
Yep. That's what I was going to say. I can't really go to it as both my main characters are taken, so...
Speaking of events, however, I believe it's now time for Vivian's calendar.
Oh, Grashka, what a beautiful segue that was.
Hey, Segway Master.
Yes. Right. Very well, everybody. It's a long one today, so settle in, get comfy. Here we go. It's the Argent Airways calendar for February. This calendar runs from the Thursday the 20th till Thursday the 22nd. My sources are argentarchives.org, the ADEU RP server Discord, link in the description below, and the forums, to which Ella Fraser gave me a hand. I'm a bit scared of the forums, I can't help it, I'm a coward. Alright, let's start with Thursday the 20th. That might be the day you're listening to this, because it's one day after our recording. There will be a murder walk in Borealis. Join the staff of the Groggery on a walk around the city while they tell gruesome, real crime stories about murders. May contain grim stories not suited for small children. If you want to join the murder walk in Borealis, meet up at the Groggery, Upton Borealis at 9 p.m. Alliance only. Which is, by the way, realm time. All of the times I mention are realm time, server time. Next up, welcome Void Elves and other Thalassian elves to the most spacey bar in WoW existence. Come together in the Telegraph's Rift and meet up with fellow elves for a good drink and a chat. It's in the Telegraph's Rift from 7 p.m. onwards. We have a couple of bars on Thursday as well. There is, of course, as always, the Moonlit Bar in Boulder Springs. Such a nice atmosphere there. It is run by a bunch of very nice Valpyra. They will welcome you with open paws. There's also the Scarlet Raven Witch Hour in Darkshirt Duskwood. That starts a bit later. It starts at 10 and then onwards till deep in the night. Little Pandaria will be open in Ratchet this time in the Broken Keel Tavern. Find Little Pandaria there from 8 p.m. onward. It's neutral, by the way. A shop will be open as well on Thursday, namely the Smoke and Mirror shop, which has exotic imports and herbs and a free cup of tea or coffee. The theme of the month, Candle and Love. You want to know what that means? Then go check them out. You will find the Smoke and Mirror shop in Silvermoon City at 8:30 onward, forward only. Moving on to Friday the 21st. The Poetry Appreciation Society will come and do their thing. Come and recite some of your amazing poetry outbursts and come hear the creative bubbles and pops of fellow Hordies in Thunder Bluff this Friday. Suggested add-ons, Listener and Storyteller, which allows you to recite a piece of text one line at a time, which is ideal for poems and lyrics. Thunder Bluff, Middle Rise, 8 p.m. onward, ward only. We have 2 bars as well on Friday. The Groggery will be open, Pinky's Groggery in Borealis, 8 p.m. onwards. Alliance only, and we have the Golden Keg in Stormwind. A Little Pandaria will be there. Also 8 p.m. onwards, Alliance only. On Saturday, the 22nd, yes, you guys, we're on Saturday already, the Thalassian artisans will meet. They will meet in the Hall of Respite in Silvermoon. Enchantress Cocktails will be there to try out her newest creations, and Darren Lee will be playing music. House Moonheart presents Laborer Celebration Day. Have you ever stopped and thought about those hard-working everyday heroes? People thanks to whom you always have fresh bread at the market, safe roads, firewood for your chimney and clean city streets. This Saturday is your chance to show them your appreciation and gratitude at House Moonheart's Laborer Celebration Day. Come to the Laborer Celebration Day and enjoy the costume contest and Gilnean's Dogs Race, stalls, food and drinks. Emberstone Village, Gilneas, 8 p.m. onward. There is a footnote about the Alliance thing, because you'd think, hey, Gilneas, Alliance, right? Yes, but If you're Alliance, you can bring a Horde friend unless they are neutral and have a good background to back up their neutrality, which means I can probably bring Vivian. Ella Fraser of the Dove has another story for us. It is called Why the Mermaids Left Borealis in the Blue Recluse Stormwind 8:30 for Alliance only. Watch out where you're walking, because the goblins and gnomes haven't finished racing yet. And we do love us a good race, so let us hope their feud to find out who's the fastest will never end. In this third installment of the Great Goblins vs. Gnome race, the starting point will be at K3 Storm Peaks, and they will race all the way to Kamagua Howling Fjord. It starts at 8 p.m. onwards, and it's neutral. Of course, because it's Goblins vs. Gnomes. It would be kind of strange if one of them was not invited. On Sunday, the 23rd, on every last Sunday of the month, you can pull out your fishing rod from the shed and travel over to Storm Glen Beach Gilneas for the Storm Glen fishing competition. Hey, you could even win a prize. 8 p.m. onwards, Alliance only. Also on Sunday, there's a new bar in town. The Dagger's Point are opening their doors in the Barony of Thornic Gilneas. But Sealy, it's in the Rustburg village in Tolbara Peninsula. Meet them there at 8 p.m. onwards. It's neutral. Every other week is Mage Quarter Market Day. Come and visit your favorite shops and stalls in the Mage Quarter in Stormwind from 8 p.m. onwards. It's that time again. The Horde's paths cross again in the crossroads, where they might get cross with each other and duke it out Horde style. If all goes well, however, it might just become a nice chill evening of relaxing chatter. The gathering at the crossroads will be at the crossroads in the Northern Barrens, 8 p.m. onwards, Horde. There's a bar open. The Storm Maidens Inn will be open in the Kiel Harbor Tavern, Gilneas. That would be Alliance, 8 p.m. onwards. Dwarves and Earthen, come together. Meet up in Telsamar Lochmodan, 8 p.m. onwards, for an evening of Dwarven merriment. Did you think this was the only race-specific bar night this Sunday? Nope, we also have the Pandaria Tavern Night, meant for Pandaren and also to encourage new Pandaren RPers to give our fuzzy friends a tryout. In their words, a standard night of tavern and social roleplay with games and a drinking contest. People are drawn together by their deep love for our community and our desire to see it flourish. Meet them over in Stoneplow from 8 p.m. onwards. Monday, the 24th, the Reliquary office will be open. If you have any questions about history, they will be answered and mysteries you hold will be solved. Meet the Reliquary office in the Royal Exchange in Silvermoon City. They are open from 7:30 until 9, Horde only. The Doonchester Bar will also be open on Monday. You can find them in Merida Hallowfall. And they serve excellent Viv cocktails. They will be open from 8 p.m. onwards, and it's neutral. Anyone can go. So, what's your excuse not to? Well, maybe because you're at the Reliquary or the Pandaria Tavern Nights or in the... okay, next. Tuesday, the 25th. A Wanderer's Rest will be open this Tuesday, where you will find Enchantress's cocktail for her cocktail night and Darren Lee's music. They will be in Silvermoon at 8:30 onwards. Enjoy a normal or an enchanted cocktail. It's always a surprise. You never know what you're going to get. The Dalaran Fundraiser Trade Night. Yes, you know, the Dalaran Market. They're still here after all these years. You can find them in Dawn's Blossom Pandaria from 8 p.m. onwards. It's neutral, anyone can go. And also, on that very night, the No Lodge presents a lecture by Professor Willem Sparkharth. It's called The Evolution of Technomancy of Before and Tomorrow. The Darkshire Trade Night will also be up if that is not your cup of tea, which is in Darkshire Duskwood from 8 p.m. onwards. That is for Alliance only, and the Dalaran one is neutral. Wednesday, the 26th, we are almost there, everybody. It's a 2-for-1 Wednesday at the Dove in the Blue Recluse in Stormwind from 8 p.m. onwards. Come and have a drink at the Blue Recluse and meet Ella Fraser and friends. Meanwhile, behind the cathedral, we will have another Lion's Roar bingo night, which happens quite often, and I would love to be there again. It starts from 8 p.m. onwards, but be on time because you're going to get some bingo cards and it will start right away and it will keep you busy for a good hour. It is Alliance only, but I hope and I believe that Hardy, Baldemar, and friends will host a couple of neutral ones in the near future as well. One of the bars that we know and love will be open, the Curious Octopus, the beginner RP bar. Are you a new RPer and would you like to learn how it's done? Go to Marina's Row in Borealis from 8 p.m. onwards. Moving on to Thursday the 27th, which is the last day in this calendar, the Forgotten Gauntlet will be open in Gilneas. It is a Gilneas underground fight club in Undertaker's Pass, Gilneas from 8 p.m. onwards. It is hosted by the Gilneas Denizens ADEU. And this calls for Zuyagu's epic voice. Zuyagu, are you there?
I am here.
Tell us the thing.
The thing. Welcome to the Forgotten Gauntlet, the heart of Gilneas' hidden fight club, where legends are forged in the fire of combat. This isn't just a test of strength. It is a trial of will, grit, and sheer determination.
What more could you want in an Undertaker's Pass underground fight club? And speaking of the Gilneas denizens, it is time for our shout-out. Yasmin left us a message. She would like us all to know, this isn't really a guild, but it's an amazing community. I would love to do a shout-out. I would love a shout-out to be given to the Gilneas Denizens ADEU, a fantastic server with lovely people. Please join for all your Gilneas needs. And if I'm not mistaken, we have 2 more shout-outs.
We do
Who's
indeed.
going to go first?
If you don't mind, I shall go first. And
Go for it.
I would like to...
That's right.
Thank you very much. I have a shout out here from Bertel of the Poetry Appreciation Society. I hope I said your name right. Who are always happy to attend as many of the events as he can, and to watch the recordings of Actilon. Is that Actilon?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yes.
And to watch the recordings on Actilon's YouTube channel once uploaded. Bartel, you wonderful purple poet. Your dedication knows no bounds. The community loves you.
Yes. And that was a shout out to Bertel, not by Bertel.
Yeah, sorry, to Bertel.
Yep.
I will learn how to read, I promise you.
We love Bertel.
I also have a shout out from Dareth. Do you love books? Do you have to read and suggest books to your friend? Does the idea of bringing knowledge to the masses, regardless of their social standing or the coin in their pocket, bring you joy? Then look no further. The No Lodge is hiring. The No Lodge was established 6 years ago in Dalaran, providing educational resources, free public lectures, educational support, and publishing for aspiring authors. Every other Tuesday, the No Lodge is open at the Dawn's Blossom Market, but Dareth is hoping to open more frequently with the right staff. If it's something that you think your character will be interested in, contact Kriha Dareth Phoenix in-game. You can find them in Dawn's Blossom on Tuesday nights, or contact Vivian to get in touch, overhaul, out of character.
That's right. That's me. I mean, Dareth has a difficult IC name, so if you need him and you can't find him, just poke me. I'll get you connected. And that would be their calendar and the shoutouts.
Woo.
Yeah, and
Hey.
so unless we don't have any more, shall we move on to the RP funny stories?
Oh boy.
That is a good question. Kari, Tal, do you have anything you want to shout out?
Yes, in fact, I do. Wait,
Cool.
shout out. We were talking about the whole music and love and how everything is mixed together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, with a shout out, you can shout whatever you like out.
Oh, I'm stupid. It was a story for what we were on about earlier. I am sorry.
No problem at all.
All good.
Kari, what about you? Do you have a shout out? You want to?
I would like to shout out all of the TK staff because they do an amazing job. Like, I would not be able to do half of the things that we do or organize half of the events that we organize without them helping. And they are just amazing people. So I wanted to give a shout out to them.
That's also because they have an manager.
Absolutely, yeah. I would, before we go on, I would like to give a shout out to my guild as well, and the people who have put up with me for the last 7 years as their GM. And that is the Iron Wolf clan, of course, who have a great, I'm glad to say, have a great inner circle, which is basically our term for the guild officers, that have been not only helpful, but very supportive and patient. So you guys are awesome. I wouldn't have been able to do this guild for as long as I have without you guys. Thanks a lot.
I have a little shout out for the Wandering Lamppost. They always show up all over the place to do catering and drinks, quite often alongside Legion. You guys are amazing. What would a party be without catering?
Absolutely.
You add so much more depth to any RP. Even if people are distracted sometimes by the wonderful glitters that are on stage, we know you're there, and we appreciate you all very much.
Heard.
If you see any of these names that have been shouted out in RP, go say hi. I'm sure everyone will be more than happy.
Yes. Give them a wave.
See any TK, see any wolves, just come say hi. Everyone's friendly.
For the wolves in particular, we to be specific, it'll be Koi, Hakash, Resha, of course, Resha Gorsong, and of course everyone else that helps run the guild.
Mm-hmm.
Even those that don't run the guild, nice bunch of people.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to think that my guild is very approachable, at least out of character. In character, it depends on whether you're a horde supporter or not.
Yeah.
Well, Viv is neutral, but
Yeah, but Vivian's Vivian.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
Shall we move on now to the RP funny moments? This one in particular, I've been looking forward to, I must say.
Cool.
Go on.
Ella, would you like to read it, or?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
So, during an RP session in Orgrimmar, one of two trolls just joined the Iron Wolf clan and encountered a Volpera that claimed to be a lower. The troll that encountered the Volpera was not too bright and believed his claims of being a lower right away, even going as far as being tricked into dancing for 5 minutes on porch outside of the Wyvern's Tail.
I was there. It was hilarious.
It was.
Volpera lower.
I remember
It
that.
was such a tiny Volpera as well. They
It
were
was,
just
yeah.
like, I'm a lower.
It was so in keeping. It was so in keeping with the Volpera's mischievous nature.
Yeah.
It was just hilarious to watch.
I was there role playing my rapping Jagu's son actually, and he saw that Volpera and was like, "Okay, what's your name?" He was never given a name. He was never given what the blessing is. The lower gives. So he was quite reluctant to believe that this Volpera was actually a lower, as they were claiming.
Makes me want to RP a druid now and be a lower. That'd be hilarious.
The full slower. Yeah, that'd be an interesting RP topic,
It's
wouldn't it?
a nice segue into my funny bit because it's about druids. It's about a moonkin, in fact.
Cool.
You might remember the live show from last time. We had a certain moonkin in our voice chat.
Mm-hmm.
It was that very moonkin that I ran into at market night the other day. together with their friend Four Feathers, the Tauren. And we were having a discussion about flight. You see, Vivian asked them, can Moonkin fly? According to Monkshood, that's his name, flapping really fast and not plummeting to your death after falling from a cliff counts as flying. Four Feathers, however, believes that's not flying, but falling with very little style. Viv pointed out that part of flying is going up, to which Monkshood had to admit defeat and admit Moonkin cannot fly. Yeah. Also, I was at a concert of the Valfire Sisters, and Miss Laddie yelled into the microphone, "Zeros, let me hear you!" To which Hamfist replied, "You!"
That was so good.
Last but not least, a quote from Vivian. Vivian said, there are 2 reasons why Viv shouldn't cook, even though she loves it. First, because Viv sucks at it. Second, because dead things shouldn't touch something that people put into their mouths. Not that I'm a thing, but Viv is a bit dead.
Yeah, she's mortally challenged.
She's slightly dead, it's just,
Yeah.
yeah. So those were my funny bits.
And I need the organ replacement soon.
I have one funny moment involving a particular guard guild in Stormwind City, of which there are numerous. But my Worgen was wandering around the streets as he usually does, and he came across these 2 guards interviewing a drunk dwarf. I mean, dwarf. What do you expect, really? And the guard was trying to talk to this dwarf. The dwarf was being belligerent. The guard was going, "Look, you, I shall repeat that." And the dwarf goes, "That," straight away.
Yep.
And it just continued on from there. And what followed has to be the funniest conversation between the guards ever, because the dwarf was just making fun of everything that they were saying. And
I am a god, and you will respect my authority.
basically, yeah, basically that's what he was doing. He was the crime. His particular crime was dancing on a plant pot in the cathedral square nude after after a particularly heavy drinking night in the Dwarven bar.
Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't in
Surprise,
the Lion's Pride Inn.
Suppose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was quite funny to watch. I do love dwarf RP, especially when the dwarves are loud and outrageous, like they're supposed to be.
Do our
Absolutely.
guests have any funny RP moments?
I have a short one.
Mm-hmm.
So during market night, Kari has this thing about romance novels. She likes reading romance stories.
Yeah.
And she I decided to say I see that she's been reading a romance novel called 40 Shades of Silver instead of 50 Shades of Grey.
Kari, honestly.
I see guilty pleasures. I see.
I got the book adaptations are the best. Like a good old, I think Ella still has it, Gary's Anatomy.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god.
Book adaptations are the best.
I love that.
Book adaptations and song adaptations as well. Like that moment where Ella was singing to the clan. Instead of "This is the greatest show" from The Greatest Showman, it was "This is the greatest clan."
Yep.
Aww.
Which I quite liked. So I really enjoyed that, I must say.
Yeah. I mentioned that at the start, a new singer, aren't I? Ella's started getting into singing.
Oh yeah. As always, however, if you'd like to send us your wowified songs, please feel free to in the comment section below.
Do we have any Bauk quotes for the funny bits?
if you bear with just 1 second, I'll see if I can find you one. I had one a moment ago.
While you look them up, I can tell the listeners that if you want to be part of our team, basically, and share your thoughts, share your funny stories, share your topics, share your opinions, anything you like, pop into our server. You'll find the code or the link in the description below. We would love to see you there. Come and say hi. Come and get involved.
All are welcome.
Yes.
And I do indeed have a barcode here, which I shall finish the podcast on. It is a yell. I'm assuming, however, from the context of this yell, that it's during one of Kari's many parties.
Oh no.
It's Barg yelling, "Barg's bloodlust turns into groove thunder, Kari."
Yeah, that was during the karaoke.
He also asked Kari to sign his bicep, which I found hilarious.
Aw. Good old Barg.
He's a good
And
man.
the funny thing is, while he was doing that, I learned that they weren't even in the Watch Together link, and I had to tell him what it was and where to go.
And so, if no one else has anything to add,
Oh, I do, if I may.
yeah, please do.
So, since we're on the funny part of things,
Oh yes.
and we recently spoke about love and music,
Mm-hmm.
I have a male Draenei who's together with a Dragfear. And they love singing to each other during dates and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a particular song he likes to sing at times, like, you know, the whole "Baby lock them doors and turn the lights down low." He does that, and she goes all like swoons and like waves herself in the face, and she's just like, "Oh, that's so beautiful."
That's
Oh, nice.
brilliant.
So there's. I just want to share that little one.
Oh, so romantic. And sometimes they come together and romantically kick a fish.
Yes.
Oh yes, Vivian
That's
has
a-
met them.
That's a perfectly normal thing to do. I know what you're on about, Vivian.
I am sure you have explained the story, right?
I don't know if I've explained it on the podcast,
I
though.
think you
but
have actually quite a lot.
I have? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
It's not
basically, they were kicking a fish, and Vivian found said fish and tried to resuscitate it and called for help, and
Oh yeah.
Okavan had to heal it.
And pretend that it was never him that kicked it in the first place.
Exactly.
There's a funny story you want to hear more of. That's unfortunately, I believe we're out of time for this particular episode of the Argent Airways. Thank you, as always, to our guests, Kari and Tal.
Thanks.
Who's our guest for next time? Yeah, look.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. Is our guest
Our
for next time?
Guest for
Yeah, who's our
next
guest for
time
next time?
is Achilles and Aranict. They
Okay.
will hopefully tell us a bit about the Kirin Tor intelligence and what they do now and what their plans are for the future. Probably they might tell us about magic in RP because they know everything about that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. They are two very interesting people. If you have any questions for Achilles and Aranict about magic in RP, for example, feel free to give us a poke, put it in the server somewhere we can find it, and we'll pass your questions on.
Yeah.
There is one small thing I'd like to add to this.
Mm-hmm.
As we had scheduled for different guests originally for this episode, but unfortunately something came up, they weren't able to attend. But in case you were looking forward to that, we will be having them on in the future.
Yes, Haiku should be back on the 19th of March. We will have two guests in that episode. One of them will be Haiku, who we start with, and then Kari, who we end with. And that is going to be a very interesting episode about Fireside and karaoke and April Fools and so forth.
A lot to look forward to then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Well, we hope to see everyone there. As always, the links to various Discord servers. And so our Discord server will be in the description below. Thank you once again to our guests, Kari and Tao. Nice to see you guys
for
again.
having us. Likewise.
And all that's remaining now is to say thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.
Welcome to season 2.
Oh yes, welcome to season 2 again.
Yeah.
Welcome to season 2.